As one war ends, another begins. This is what remains of a U.S. drone strike in a suburb of Kabul where 6 children are known to have been killed. Scenes like this may be on the rise as the U.S. targets Daesh-K, a breakaway group of former Taliban fighters responsible for killing more than a dozen U.S. Marines and nearly 200 Afghans at Kabul's airport. The group is seeing an opportunity during the chaotic evacuations of U.S. forces, NATO allies, and their Afghan staff ahead of a Tuesday deadline.
And the irony is that it seemed that as if President Biden was in such a hurry to do this withdrawal, it was almost as if he was saying to himself, let's check this box, let's get this withdrawal out of the way so I can focus on China and Asia. But the reality is, as a result of this hasty withdrawal, Afghanistan is going to be front and center in his foreign policy for the next 3 years.
It's images like this that Joe Biden intended to avoid by closing the chapter on a war older than many who are fighting in it. But as the deadline comes and goes, the U.S. finds it cannot extricate itself cleanly.
I think in many ways this was a chronicle of a disaster foretold. President Biden failed to check the most basic boxes of how you do a well-planned withdrawal. President Biden's team did not pull civilians out before troops, which is something you should have done. Secondly, they should have been processing these visas much faster before to get the interpreters and those others who've worked with the United States. And thirdly, they should have signaled this better to their allies.
Washington disputes that claim and has offered few logistical details.
Our commitment to continue to help people leave Afghanistan who want to leave and who are not out by September 1st, that endures. There's no deadline on that effort.
But there's little choice for Afghans as the Taliban now takes over airport operations and insists it does not want to brain drain from the country. The group is regaining power from a U.S.-backed Afghan government, as many wonder if the lives of nearly 2,500 American soldiers and more than 100,000 Afghans were worth it.
But it hasn't been a 20-year war. It's been a one-year war fought 20 times over with ineffective strategies based on flawed assumptions about the nature of the enemy, flawed assumptions about what was necessary to achieve a sustainable outcome there. And of course, what's sad about it is this war ended in self-defeat.
It's a legacy this president must live with. Once again, it's the most vulnerable left behind that bear the brunt of war. Yasmin Al-Sabawi, TRT World, Washington.